If you're looking to understand the do's and don'ts of paper trading or demo account trading, this is the video for you. I'm Pat Mitchell. I've been a trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to give you high-level professional day trading education, all here for free on YouTube and on X. And in today's episode, we are going to be discussing how to paper trade, how to do it properly, what to do, what not to do. So without any further ado, let's get right into it, guys. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to fire up these charts and we will rock and roll. Okay, so now that I have my charts up, I use TradingView. I used to use TC2000. Now I much prefer to use TradingView. It's a great system that you can actually replay the previous day's live market, and it gives you back testing abilities. So this can also be powerful in your demo trading or paper trading, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. So let's talk about the bare bones basics of paper trading. So the way that paper trading or demo account trading should be used is when you want to get familiar with a new broker, a new trading platform. Because honestly, like, you don't want to be using real money and fumbling through. Countless times, because I've worked with tens of thousands, over 40,000 traders at this point in my trading career, I've seen countless times traders will get involved with a position and not know how to get in or out. And then I've got to help them on how to get out of that position because they didn't do their due diligence and they didn't prepare properly before they entered. And that's obviously a big no-no. When we're dealing with real money, we want to know how the ins and outs of these brokerage platforms and trading systems that we are using, obviously. So that's kind of number one. That's the way it should be used. Now let's talk about how to develop a strategy. That would be a good use of paper trading or demo trading. Now, personally, for me, I would err on the side of still using a live account and not a demo account to work on developing your strategy, because you need to know if you are emotionally able to execute that strategy. And because demo trading or paper trading takes out, or should be taking out, all of the emotion in that, you could make the argument that it would work well for developing the core strategy, the strategy in its essence, and eliminating all emotion. But on the other side of things, we need to know that we're emotionally able to handle that strategy, because there are some strategies that carry more risk. There are strategies that will be a lot quicker for entries and exits. And I could go on and on. So basically, you can use your demo account to help you develop your strategy for back testing. Now, what back testing, if that's a term that you may not be familiar of or with, it basically takes all the chart data that you see in front of you, basically these charts, and it back tests. It goes back in time for that specific setup or strategy to see if it is viable and if it would actually work. So that would be a good use case for demo trading and paper trading as well, which you can do on TradingView. Now, this is not a sponsored video or anything like that. I'm not trying to hawk you a trading system. I don't care what platform or charting that you use. There's no affiliate link after that. I'm just simply saying that I prefer to use TradingView. It's inexpensive and it's extremely well done. They have done a really good job on this. And now let's talk about some of the don'ts, because I think that that's the most important part. Because I have a saying, and I say, you don't know what you don't know. Right. And that sounds kind of simple, but if you actually break that down and you start peeling the layer back of the onion, so to speak, it's impossible to know what you're doing is incorrect, especially in the world of trading, because this is very foreign to most of you. That's why you're watching this video right now. It's like learning a new language. You've probably been told how to use paper trading and demo trading, right? Or maybe you haven't and you're just kind of winging it. And that's the problem that you're having. Because a lot of people will go from demo trading to live trading and their results will not be the same. So where you need to start, and this is probably something you guys don't want to hear, you need to work on yourselves. There's a reason why on my YouTube channel, if you go through, especially the podcasts, I talk about developing yourself emotionally and mentally. That is the most important part. And I'm going to repeat that. The most important thing that you can do as a trader is work on yourself, work on harnessing your emotions. Now, we've all heard that you need to trade like a robot. That's not going to happen. Okay, we are humans, we are emotional beings, but we need to learn how to harness that. We need to learn how to harness our emotions. So then when you do go from a demo account or a paper account into a real world live trading situation with live money, you're able to handle that. Developing and working on your emotions can be difficult, and it is a long process. I don't want to lie to you and say to you it's going to be quick, but you will make progress as you go. You always need to be working on yourself. We need to be able to handle the emotional stress that we are bombarded by as traders on a day-to-day basis. These charts are whipping around, there's money on the line, all sorts of stuff in your daily life might be affecting your trading as well. So that's a really important note. So first and foremost, get your emotional shit in order. Get your shit in order, basically, is the best and most blunt way of putting it. One of the next biggest don'ts and things that I hear traders say all the time is they'll tell themselves little lies. Now, these are just little lies, but they have a huge impact on your trading. When you are demo trading and paper trading, one of the biggest mistakes that a trader can make is telling themselves, oh, I'm just trying something out. Now, hear me out, because obviously that's why you would be demo trading. But in the respect that I'm talking about, you should be taking no more than 3 trades per day. Okay. If you're taking more than that, there's a lot of traders that'll say, oh, but it's part of my strategy. Screw that, man. That's over trading. You absolutely should not need to take any more than 3. And to be honest, when you are learning, it should be a 1 and done or 2 max. But I'm giving you 3. So how they lie to themselves in their demo trading is they'll say, well, it's not real money, so there's nothing on the line. So it's okay for me to take these extra trades to get practice. But they're not thinking about the ramifications of doing this, the long game. When you develop these habits as a new trader, these habits are going to be very difficult to break. So if you are used to taking 5, 10, 15, 20 trades, that tells me those are not proper trades. They're bullshit trades. So you're just trying something out is doing so much damage that you don't know what you don't know. And you're going to pay for that dearly in your trading career. By doing that, let's say just off the top of my head that you did that demo trading for a month and you just took trade after trade after trade after trade. Now, I'm telling you this because I've been a trader for over a decade, so I can speak to this. I have experience. If you did that for 1 month, it will take you years to get over those bad habits. So it is important that right off the hop, we do things properly. And by doing things properly, we need to work on discipline. Sometimes the best trade is not taking a trade. That's another cliche that we've heard over and over and over again as traders, right? But that actually holds a lot of weight. Sometimes the best trade is the trade we don't take. Work on not taking the trade. Now, I understand when you're developing a strategy and you're looking for certain things, if you're doing it properly, you need to take the setups that fit your strategy. I get it. That's fine. But what I'm talking about is if you've already found that once on the day, log that data and move on. Come back the next day. Wait for your setup that fits your strategy and do it again. This develops good habits. It also develops self-control. It also develops discipline. Discipline and self-control and patience are the 3 biggest attributes of a successful trader. That's what you need in order to do this. I guess 4 with emotional control. You have to have your shit together, right? So some of the other things that I've noticed that people will lie to themselves about, so I guess the next don't, is oversizing. A lot of traders will use size because they'll tell themselves, oh, I just want to see what I would get out of that if I use that size. Okay, well, you don't need to take stupid size in order to do math. We can all do math. So if, let's say, 100 shares or 10 contracts, if you're trading options, produced X amount of profit, right? Let's say it made you 10% or 15%, whatever it is, doesn't matter. If you used 1,000 shares, 2,000, 10,000, 50,000, a million, you can do the math and you can figure it out, right? And besides, that's looking way too far in the future. And you shouldn't be using size like that as a beginning trader. It's one of the things, again, because I've been doing this for so long and I've worked with tens of thousands of traders, I see traders do this over and over and over again. They oversize because they're trading to make money, okay? Now, let me explain this, because when you're new to this, you're going to be, of course, this is why I'm doing this, Pat. Why would you say that? That doesn't make sense. Well, I'll tell you why it doesn't make sense. Because if you look at any professional, do you think any professional chooses a career for money? Like, that's their main reason why they got into it. I'll give you an analogy. Let's say you take a major league pitcher, baseball, and every single time he throws a pitch, he yells out, boom, that's 35K in the bank. Do you know what I mean? Like, it seems silly, right? Every time a race car driver goes around the track, oh, that's another 10 grand. That's another 10 grand. Of course not. And let's put it into a realistic analogy. A teacher teaching a singular class during his or her day, do you think they say, oh, that's another 150 bucks? Of course not. Nobody does that. So why do traders do that? A lot of traders get into trading because they believe it's a means to an end, right? It's going to save them. But we all regurgitate the whole 90% fail, 10% make it, which it's those odds are way less of making it. But that's just to get your base consistency, is that 90%, 10%. That's just to gain a level of consistency that you would deem consistent. In order to make it longer, to make it to 5 years, is 1%. To make it past that, to make it to 10 years as a consistent trader, is 0.1%. That's what I'm talking about. So it's not that it's hard. It's not that it's impossible to do. It's because people don't possess those 3 or 4 attributes of a successful trader that I've talked about, because they've never worked on it. So it starts at the beginning. To bring this around full circle, it starts at the beginning of your trading career when you first fire up a demo account. You need to start there. I also see a lot of traders out there as another don't, but it does fall into the oversizing. But let's talk about just profit. I'll see a lot of people post like, oh, I made $16,000 in profit. And I can show you a great example of this. Okay, so this example is actually from a brand new member of ours. His name is Alex. So the way I do things is to tell people to take it slow. And the reason why I do that is because I can speak from experience. You have to. This is why we have a sizing program. It's our size up program. It is our sizing strategy. It takes you from a $2,500 account and builds it to an $18,000 account in a very short period of time. But with that said, you need to do it that way. It's done that and designed on purpose, right? It's purposeful. It's intentional. He's just joined and he watched the beginning videos and he's saying, I just did a picture perfect trade. New to this course, but super excited. Paper traded this AM and made 16K profit in 4 minutes. So if you're making $16,000, this is the point that I'm trying to make about profit. That's way too much. To make $16,000 in 4 minutes, when I took that exact trade and probably made 3,000 to 5,000, depending on the trade, I'd have to look it up. That's telling me he's way oversizing. Now, I'm using hundreds of contracts when I'm trading because I trade options, but don't let that scare you. I trade stock. I don't focus on options. I don't trade options normally at all. So don't let that freak you out. But in order for him to make $16,000 in 4 minutes, you're way oversizing. And I don't mean to put you, Alex, on the spot like this, but I do think that there's a lot of traders out there that can benefit from this because there's a lot of you that are probably doing the same thing. And I'll be honest with you, it's frustrating on my end and it's heartbreaking on my end to see that. And I know that that may seem a little over the top by saying that, but I mean that. I know for a fact that this is doable. And I know that the life that I have, that's the life I want for everyone seeing this and viewing this. I want that so badly because it is an amazing life and it is achievable. So that's what I want for you guys. Now, it's going to be up to you, right? Like, results are always going to vary, and they vary depending on the person. Do you have what it takes to do this? And if you can be disciplined and show self-restraint and self-control and do things properly, you're going to go the distance with it. It's just a matter of time. But when I see stuff like this, it's disheartening because they're not listening. They're making this about money. You're demo trading $16,000 profit in 4 minutes. And yes, the trade was a great trade. It was a big trade. It was a beautiful trade. And he executed it. And I love that he executed that trade, right? But make it about the actual execution. And that brings me to my next point. My next point is about honing your technique, making a gamify your trading. This is what I've had to do over the years, because after over a decade of doing this and getting good at this, there's no stress. It's very easy. So I've gamified it to where every day I take screenshots of my entries charts, and it's for all my members to see. Every day I take the entries chart screenshots. And so from time to time, especially in my mentoring classes, which I do once per week, every Sunday morning, we go over them. Not every week we'll go over them, but I do if something catches my eye. So what I'm passing that on to you for your demo trading and paper trading is get good. Trade to trade well, and the results will come. The profit will come. If you make it about profit, you will absolutely fail. It's the same in the same respect, and I've used this analogy before. If you walked into a doctor's office and the doctor said, "You are doomed. I'm sorry to inform you, but you are doomed," what would happen? Your stomach would sink to your asshole, wouldn't it? It would be like that. You'd be like, "Oh my God, what the hell is going on? Am I going to die?" And then he answers yes. That's crazy, right? So when I tell you, if you continue on that path and you're not going to start out demo trading correctly, you are doomed. You should have the same emotional reaction to if a doctor told you you were doomed. You got to remember, and I know I've repeated this a few times throughout this video, but I've worked with tens of thousands of traders. I know what happens before it happens, right? So I'm trying to teach you guys the right way of doing things. The way, and it's not just my way, it's any professional will tell you the same thing. And if they don't, they're truly not a professional. They're gamblers, and they literally are button clickers. I want you guys to be traders. That's why you're here. So again, to kind of wrap up a few things and surmise things, we need to trade like it is real. And I mean real. We need to use small size, because small size, the size does not matter. I'm sure some of you guys have told yourselves that out there before, right? But size doesn't matter in this case, because it is about the act of executing that strategy and making it an art. Trading to trade well, the results will come. Don't make it about profit when you're demo trading, especially when you're demo trading, because that's silly, right? Like, that's like playing a fake lottery or like fake slots. What are you doing? It's not real money. It's almost like it's like these lies that we tell ourselves, right? And log your results. And I want to touch on that before we wrap this. When I say log your results, don't overdo it. Don't use a tracking app or anything like that. I don't recommend that. I recommend you doing it yourself. And I have a video that is going to be at the end of this video. For those of you that are still watching, that will be the one that will pop up. That's the video that gives you the keys to the kingdom to go over your entries charts and find the holes in your game. I show you exactly what to do with that. And lastly, before you attempt to do this, I highly recommend working with a coach or a mentor. Now, I'm not saying specifically you have to work with me. That's not what I'm trying to do. What you're embarking on is one of the most difficult career paths on the planet. And a lot of people won't tell you that because they want you to get you in the door. Okay. I want to be real with people and give them the reality of trading. And it is difficult, but it is very doable. It just needs to be done a certain way. And you need to work with someone, just like any high-level CEO, any professional sports player, any of that works with a coach or a trainer. This is the same. That's what I recommend for you. That would be the last thing. So I hope this video helps you. If you guys have any other questions or I happen to miss something, by all means, drop a comment below. I always read the comments and I will absolutely, you have my word, I will answer your question. If it is a valid question about demo trading and paper trading that I did not cover in this video, I will absolutely answer that. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you learned something. Remember, my name is Pat Mitchell, and if you want to become a professional trader or embark on your road to becoming a professional trader, come to tricktrades.com. If not, that's fine. Please enjoy my free content here on YouTube and on X. That's why it's there. The free stuff will just take you longer. So if you feel like you have all the time in the world, by all means, enjoy the free stuff. And we will catch you on the next one, folks. Adios.